Guys,
I bet don't move your hands there.
Sure. Let's do this quick.
So set up.
Are we ready?
Daniel. Show your head to the camera.
Somebody wants to take a okay. All right, good evening.
One second for me.
Let's do this quickly.
You've been here since what happened?
No, that's the media.
His hands are shaking after 3 goals.
Stop.
No, that's not good. That's not good.
Are we ready? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. 3-1 it ended. Nigeria versus Ghana. Of course, Nigeria qualified for CHAN next year. Seated with us here is the head coach of the Black Galaxies, Didi Dramani, and he will be entertaining a few questions as they prepare to leave Nigeria immediately. Good evening to you, coach.
Good evening,
the game ended 3-1. You came highly optimistic that Ghana will have the day after all is said and done, but unfortunately tilted in the direction of Nigeria. How disappointed are you with this result?
Every coach will feel disappointed, but the results is what it was. Nigeria showed more Hungrier and did a lot of running, and we gave away some very key moments of the game which can turn out, because I think the second goal really dropped the strength and energy of the team because of the manner it was scored, not even to talk about the third goal, and so every team could lose its steam at that moment, and it is always very important that you can only try to make some adjustments, especially when you are able to regroup the team in the locker room. And I think Nigeria showed a lot of angry, to get it than we looked especially in the first half.
All right, okay. Your name and your medium, please.
Akila Matal, XL16 Side FM. Ghana as a nation has missed out on the AFCON and has missed out on CHAN yet again. Would you say Ghanaian football is suffering a decline at the moment, and do you feel there's anything to do with the pool of talents in Ghana and administration?
I think it's every country or team sometimes goes through a transitional phase, and I think we are currently in a transitional phase, and these are lessons learned in very good faith, and sometimes failures, we don't like failures, but sometimes failures, they give it the right moment to reflect and then to bounce back on the right ways.
Okay. Yeah. Also being Ghanaian Democrat. Coach, within 10 minutes you lost 3 goals. But in the second half you came out stronger and got a goal. Lack of concentration affected you. I saw it in the face. Do you think that you took the right players to CHAN qualify?
You said it all. The same players were in the first half, and then in the second half the same players came on, and then they changed the trend. Football is a game of moments. So when the moment of defensive awareness comes and then you don't fix it, and the opponent have the edge, then you have to pay for it. I think we really paid for our lackluster approach, and not about lack of concentration, but I think that at that moment Nigeria showed that they were more angry, and you can expect that when the whole crowd is behind you, sometimes this can play a very important role, and I think that in the first half, yeah, they really showed that, they wanted it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, coach, I want to speak to the qualification formats. These days we get to see so many Nigeria versus Ghana games because of the regional qualifications for women football, under 20. Some of us are getting tired of it. Would you rather this format continues, or perhaps they open it to the rest of Africa so maybe you get to see diverse opponents?
I think the organizers definitely will have a thoughts and deep reflections about why these two great nations will always be paired in very sticky situations, and more importantly, when sometimes we find out that many countries are withdrawing and the chance sometimes being postponed to a preceding year, But I think that the CHAN competition is so important because of our domestic competition levels. It also gives a stage for us to sell our football to the rest of the world. And so I would say that it is a moment for deep reflections in terms of how the CHAN competition can be expanded, and then how the right modalities will be put in place going forward.
Your name and your medium.
Okay, my first is that Hungrier. Coach, it was a different second half. Will you say your loss today was as a result of the poor conversion rates from your team?
I think I didn't talk much in the dressing room. I only addressed the aspect of being angry, and also did a little adjustments in terms of how we needed to press, and then how we needed to build up our attacking play. I think if we had taken our right chances in the moments when we control the game, the results would have been different. And they were a game of two halves. One half that looks a bit very shaky and a bit very very turbulent in the way Nigerian played, and you can expect that if a team is up 3-0, in the second half they will not come up strongly, but they would rather try to manage the game in that sequence. But having even said that, even in the first half, I think that we should have scored at least a goal.
Two more questions. You your medium, please.
Good evening, Coach. AJ, MBA for Transfer Market, and I was privileged to do commentaries today on the game. So I noticed something before kickoff. You made 3 changes to your starting 11 from the last game in Accra. You, of course, kept off Stephen Amankuna. You also kept off Abis Ibrahim. And, of course, there's also another person there in that squad that was also on the bench. 3 changes and 3 goals considered in a matter of few minutes. Do you think those changes were the reason we went down?
I think we played according to our strengths. And these players that you spoke about, sometimes you can find out that the energy levels are not so. And these are 2 intense games that you need to sometimes regulate, players loading, and then to be able to manage them, especially when they have, tight legs or tired legs. Then there's a need for you to try to manage the group, so that you'll be able to have a very solid team that can run the 90 minutes. It was, some adjustments that we needed to do, and the goals that were scored was not as a result of the adjustments that we made, but you can understand that the goals were, the first goal was out of defense. It's not defense. It was how the opponent, the quality the opponent showed in terms of making a run, deep, and then if you outrun someone, there's nothing you can do. If there's no pressure on the ball, you need to drop. And if they don't drop and they were high, the ball gets through. And the second goal also, from a set piece, and we didn't clear the lines. The third goal was more or less a gift. And so these are situational, moments in the game, and they can make and also sometimes make.
Final question.
Kenneth Hadize, Brookline Sports. Coach, good evening. Coach, Ghana will not be playing at next year's AFCON in CHAN as well. Is this a sign of decline for Ghana football?
I think I answered.
All right, Coach. My name is Mike Nepondit from 54 Football X. I noticed that during your preparation for these qualifiers, you traveled to Togo, played some good friendlies, and also you were in camp for a month, while your opponent played some non-league side. Preparation-wise, the Ghanaian Football Federation did wise. Do you think you've failed the Ghanaian Football Association?
I think preparation is all about your planning. So preparation doesn't come on just a silver platter. Is the programs you put in place that will help you. So we were not in camp. We did intermittent programming in terms of our preparation. So we come in on a Monday, and then on a Wednesday we break and they go back to feature for their leagues. Because in as much as our preparation was so important, so is it that the league was also very, very important for the football association and then the country. And so this intermittent planning is all about the programming that you put in place, and yeah, it's true we had an international friendly, and then we also played against the lower divisions, the first division. It is all about the planning that we put in place. So it's not about the football association putting, a clear preparation. Yes, when things don't go right, of course you can associate to other elements. But I think that we did the right planning program that will suit us at that moment because of the domestic league, first divisions, and then the second divisions, and then the Premier Leagues being on. And so I think that independent of what we put in place is what we were ushered the opportunity to execute.
Thank you very much, Coach. That will be
Daniel,
now.
I'll see you. So Ghana must go, so we are going.